Drew, here's a look at one of your slalom runs. Okay. So the last video I did of you skiing slalom gates, my suggestions were to narrow the stance. You were kind of on your heels. You need to clear a flush with one arm, and we need a forward pole plant, and the pole has to be ski pole horizontal when we're clearing a gate, and all that still, is going to be the, same here, which, I guess understandable. It was only a few weeks ago. But we got to start making some changes. First off, we got to narrow the stance. It's absolutely impossible to ski well like that. We could not pressure the outside ski. We can't use our ankles. We can't really roll up the skis, right? And it's going to be all just inside skiing. We just talked about how we need to clear a gate with our ski pole horizontal. And that would then, after we clear it, we can drop it to the ground for a pole plant. You're not really positioned to pole plant, so you tapped it back there, but we need a more forward pole plant. Well, nice job here, at least. Not at least, but I mean, a little bit, not quite as wide, a little more narrow, and you cleared it closer to port. And look at that, you pole planted. See? Horizontal to the ground, more or less, and a pole plant. I knew you could do it. But we went right back to this big, wide stance. That's just not going to work. And went back to, again, the pole not horizontal. Look at this one. There's a stance we want. Because here, you were able to roll both skis up on edge, right? You can't do that when it's super wide. And the pole, although you pushed it down with your hand, the gate down, we don't need to do that. You did have the pole, kind of in the right position, kind of horizontal. Because you pushed the gate down, it was hard to pole plant, and the pole plant's is a little tap behind you. Forward pole plant. But then we went back to this kind of wide stance. Right? Feet, you start off here nice, except no real use of ankles and knees. We're going to roll those skis up on edge, high edge angle, top of the turn, using ankles and knees. Right? And we're right back to this big wide stance. So we need to have a consistent width. We can't make a turn, start the turn here, and all of a sudden, widen them out in the transition. Ankles and knees, and we can see just sort of leaning in, kind of on our heels, right? And just skidding around below the gate. Flush, gotta be one hand. You're trying to alternate hands, trying to smack anything you can find. One arm. You're gonna cross block the top, so therefore it would be a left arm throughout. Right? Cross block the top, inside arm clear the next two. Cross block coming out. The most important thing is cross blocking coming out of a turn, out of a flush, or hairpin for that matter. Right? Again, I don't really see any kind of ankles and knees rolling up the skis. It's kind of leaning in and pushing the tails out with a big wide stance. So let's think about, we've been talking about it, now it's time to do it. Narrow the stance. Keep it consistent throughout the entire run, the actual entire turn, transition. You did it a couple times. You do it a couple times, you can do it every time. All right, let's make sure we're in the front of the boot, not on our heels. Flushes with one arm. And we need a forward pole plant. And that pole has got to be horizontal to the ground when we're clearing gates. All right, let's work on that.